Now I'm here with Alden Ricks, curator of the museum here at Miller Motorsports Park, as well as builder of the FR 500S race cars.
That is correct.
And you kind of do a little bit of everything around here.
I take care of all of the vehicles that are in the fleet. We currently have 30 driving school cars.
Nice.
We have 13 challenge cars, which is our MPRA in-house race series.
And then all this.
And build the S model cars for Ford Racing.
Yeah.
And take care of all of the cars here in the museum. So it's pretty cool.
And these are Larry Miller's personal collection. He's the owner of the track. And so let's start with this guy, because this is the Cobra of Cobras.
This is the first production built Cobra. Serial number on this is CSX 2002. This car was raced in its current configuration.
Oh, really?
It's been cleaned up, but it has not been restored.
So he was actually building race cars before street cars.
He built a street car. He built one street car.
Okay.
Hand built it, painted it a half a dozen times.
Yeah.
Took it around to all of the car shows.
Yeah.
This is the first car that was built on his production line.
Okay.
And raced.
All
Vintage
right.
raced.
Well, that's
vintage now.
That's
not when they raced it.
And to look at it, you can kind of tell. It looks like they hadn't quite figured everything out yet.
Yep.
I mean, you can see the ducting under here, and
pretty primitive for where Cobra ended up being.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this screen thing, that's original?
Keep rocks out of the radiator. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's not very pretty.
It's not very pretty, but it's really cool.
It gets the job done for sure.
Yeah,
and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 Cobras here. And is this oldest to newest? Is that
not necessarily. What we have is the 3 red ones right here are all small block cars.
Okay.
So they're 260, 289 cars. The 3 cars on the far end are all 427 cars.
All right.
The number 11 car, this bright blue car, is actually a semi-competition car, one of the few that were made. And that was raced by Comstock Racing.
Okay.
So it's not in its correct livery. The correct livery would be green with white stripes. But we were able to pick that up.
What does semi-competition mean?
It was a built for racing.
Oh, okay.
Specific built for racing.
Okay.
That's why they call it the SC model.
Oh, okay.
427 SC is the nomenclature on that.
So yeah, he's got some Cobras.
Absolutely.
And not just Cobras. We've got GT40s too.
We've got the whole family of Ford and Shelby racing product.
This is like there's like four cars here that are like the 4 most significant cars in American motorsports. Period.
That is correct.
I mean,
let's
go look at this one. Come on over here. Look at this thing. Well, first we got the GT40 Mark IV.
That is correct. GT40 Mark IV is the latest GT40 ever produced. Ford built 4 GT40s. Mark I, small block cars. Mark II, big block cars. Mark III were street cars. Yeah. And the Mark IV was a big block race car, which pretty much ended their international competition because they changed the CC displacement on the engines. Okay. So that's why this car.
What's the race history on this one?
This car is the Sebring 12-hour race winner.
From what year?
Was driven 1967.
Okay.
Was driven by Mario Andretti and Bruce McLaren.
Took you a while. It took you a minute there. Those are 2 names you're not likely to forget. But
there's a lot of people in this museum that we're representing here.
And then this car over here. This is possibly the most significant car in American motorsports ever. Am I right?
This is the GT40 that won Le Mans in 1966 when Carroll Shelby stated that Ferrari's ass was his.
And it's actually written on the wall right there.
Written on the wall.
Quote Carroll Shelby, Ferrari's ass is mine.
Caption there. This is the 1, 2, 3 photo finish win at Le Mans.
So this is what, Ford tries to buy Ferrari. Ferrari says, and Ford says, well, I'll take it to the track and I will beat you.
Yes.
With Carroll Shelby's help.
Yes.
And they did just that.
Yes.
So this is the winner, and from what I've heard, Larry actually races this car still.
We still campaign this car. This car went back to Le Mans in 2006 and campaigned the Le Mans Classic.
That's awesome.
And won the overall points championship.
Oh, really?
With Larry's favorite driver, Bill Murray, at the helm.
So, and Bill Murray actually restored a lot of these Cobras,
Bill Murray restores the cars
for Larry. Not the actor, by the way.
Not the actor, although he's pretty funny. Yeah. By Bill Murray. He does all of Larry's restoration work, and we also have a vintage race team that we campaign in HSR, SVRA, and occasionally Larry grants us the opportunity to take these cars to Europe.
Now, if you show up at the track with this car, do people just freak out? Do people know what they're looking at?
The younger generations do not know what they're looking at. The older generations, my generation, maybe one generation younger than mine, absolutely go crazy over this car.
I mean, this is the car to have. If you're into American race cars, you could pretty much stop there.
Yes.
But Larry didn't, did he?
No, we have one up on that car.
Let's go over here, which this one's my favorite in the collection.
This one is also Larry's favorite. This is, as Larry states, this is the pick of the litter.
Yeah.
This is certainly the most valuable Cobra ever built.
Yeah.
And most probably the most valuable car in America currently.
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah,
most valuable American car or car in America, period?
In America. And obviously, obviously the most valuable American car.
So this 64 Daytona Coupe.
That is correct. This is CSX 2299. It has the best race livery. This is the FIA World Champion car in 1965, driven by Bob Bondurant and Dan Gurney.
Not small time drivers there.
That you know. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Absolutely. We still actively campaign this car. This car has been
hopefully not on these tires. These tires look vintage.
This is our static vintage tires. The tires that we race on are even smaller than that.
Oh, really?
But this car has been to Europe 4 times now. And as recently as last September, we took it to Goodwood, raced it in the Goodwood Revival, blew the motor out of it, put a new motor in it in about 4.5 hours, campaigned the race, and it's pretty neat that Larry still lets us experience and race these.
But when you're talking about a car of this kind of historical significance, when it's a race car, what if you blow the motor and you put in a new motor, what then happens to the value?
Well,
with a race car, do they just assume you're going to go through multiple engines?
Well, yeah, when you blow the motor, there's different ways of blowing a motor.
Yeah.
When you blow the motor up and you damage the block, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But when you have a piston that fractures or a valve that gets stuck in a guide and you replace the bad components but retain the original components, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's really block, transmission, and chassis and body are what you need to know.
That is correct.
So in that particular case, the block was okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did some cylinder head damage to it is all.
All right.
So.
But nothing, it's just metal and it can be fixed. That's the good news.
Right.
Now, we have 5 GT350 Mustangs over here.
Yes.
Now, there's one that's got a little pice of Paxton in it.
Yes,
let's go over here because this is something that's really neat. I love to see cars that come with really bizarre factory options where it's like there's only one that you've ever heard of, you know what I mean? And if it was a factory you gotta think that in 65, if that really is a dealer installed option, and I'm referring to a supercharger, why wouldn't more people get it?
It was probably about a $600 ad at that point in time,
which
was
like
a quarter
of the car.
That is an authenticated dealer installed option. They had factory installed and dealer installed.
Yeah.
That is an authenticated dealer installed option supercharger.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That looks like the same blower that was in Carroll Shelby's Super Snake, and he had 2 of them. Am I right? Same blower?
Same blower.
See, I know something about cars.
You're a car guy.
I know something about cars. Yay!
One of the neatest parts about purchasing this car is we not only got the car in its original livery with the supercharger, but we were able to get an additional supercharger.
Oh, look at that. There's an extra one right there.
Whoever purchased this car originally purchased an extra one. And
wow.
And so that's
has that ever been in the car?
That is quite the prized possession.
Wow.
That has never been bolted. I took that out of a brand new plastic bag to put it on display in that case. Yes.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty neat.
Wow. Well, thanks so much, Alden. Really appreciate being on the show.
Came.
I love the collection. I mean, this is something to see here.
There's some neat stuff here.
Miller Motorsports Park Museum, Garage419 exclusive. Keep watching.
On the next Garage419.
There we go. Light them up.
New episodes of Garage419 Tuesday and Thursday.